All right, what's on the bench today? I just spent the last hour making this little part here. Got a countersunk hull, goes through. It's got some steel pins on this side. It's made out of brass. Yeah, okay, so everybody needs to make a guess. What does it do? Okay, what does it do? Why would you build such a thing? All right, now let's see here. You probably aren't going to guess, so let's back up a ways here and I'll give you some clues, okay? It has to do with this box, all right? It has to do with this box. Unitech, yeah, it sounds like some cool scope probe thing or something, right? Unitech. All right. Whoever had this before me decided to put some artwork on it. That's pretty cool. Scratched it in there. So it's a nice case. Okay, are you guessing? Are you guessing what it is? All right, let's back up some more. Let's back up some more here. Go wider, wider, wider. Look at that. It's pretty long, right? Here's a foot ruler. So yeah, it's a pretty long box. Okay, guesses? Guesses? Okay. It's a lettering set. Okay, you've probably seen these before, but I found it on the shelf a couple days ago cleaning up, and I went, oh, that's pretty cool. So you may or may not know how these things work. There is some letters that are engraved in this piece of plastic, and smaller case over here, bigger case over here, and there's different sizes. So this is made by a Japanese company, Unitech. And it was for lettering in the old days when you had ink. Ink used to come in little ink things. I'm sure it's dry. But you used these little ink things. Zoom down on them. So they're a little hollow tube. This is just a cleaning nozzle thing. It's just a pen. But this is a very, very small tube. And you drop some ink in there, and then it turns into a little tiny Rapidograph pen, and you can ink things. All right. So, and there were in this set there were 3 different sizes, 3 different tip diameters, fine to not so fine, and it also came with a lead holder. So if you wanted to do pencil, you could put this thing in there and it would hold the pencil. All right, so these items go into this thing. All right, so let's zoom out again here. Let's get a piece of paper. Here, I'll just tear out a piece of paper here. And so let's use the pencil one. I'll demo it with the pencil one. Okay, so the pencil goes in here, like so, and then you can hold it, you can clamp down on it. Now you have a pencil thing here, okay? And you can write with a pencil. In fact, if you want to do freehand, there was this adapter. And this adapter goes on like this. And now you can kind of hover around with this thing, and you can go along and you can make marks with the pencil if you want. Okay, so that's what that thing is. All right. So the way you worked with this thing, let's use the big one here. And you would come along and you would place this little nib here in the groove, and then you would put this in this little stylus here into the letter, and then you go and you'd make the letter A. Hoo-hoo! Okay, so that's what they were, and like I said, different font sizes and stuff, and it required you some dexterity to use this thing and line it up each time. And like I said, you'd have to get ink, and the ink is messy, and blah, 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 blah. So you remember this thing? Started out the video that way. Let's see, where's the cap for this thing? I've lost my cap already. Shoot. All right, I'll look for it. It's probably on the floor already. All right, so this thing is an adapter, okay? It goes on like this, and you can lock it down, all right? And now you've got this thing that goes on like that, all right? And then you can take your favorite pen, these guys here, these Micron pens, okay? And it fits in this hole snugly, like that. And then you can come along here, and you could go back to your A, and you could go chink, 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 chink. Make a lovely A, a lovely A. All right, so let's see if we can do IMSAI guy here. So you need to have a ruler that doesn't move around. So I'm going to clamp this ruler onto the bench here. All right, and then this one will slide back and forth like that. Okay, so it won't go around. And then we will find our eye. Fail! Let's try it again. Like I said, you need some dexterity and some amount of patience for this thing. And you have to figure out how to space these things. Let's see. It's very hard to figure out how to space it correctly. I'm sure that's what these little numbers are down here, is how to space it. But I haven't figured out how to do that, so I don't really care. I just want to make my pen adapter. I thought that was kind of fun today. Something to do. Some interesting project for the garage. And so we need an I again. I is here. All right, IMSAI. All right, let's go to the G. G. And a U. And a Y. Oh. Fail again. All right, IMSAI guy. Isn't that fun? All right, enough of that. I just wanted one of these, and I've had it for years and years and years. And just stare at it once in a while. But yeah, there you go. It also has this cool thing here. So it is a pen, okay, and it has a little thing over here. So you can take one of these nozzles and you can, oops, I picked up two of them. You can put your little nozzle in over here, and let's see if I can demo it here. I think you get the idea of it. Try it, there we go. It'd be like that, right? You'd take out the cleaner thing. But then you could use this as a rapidograph pen. So Unitech Japan. Anyway, kind of a fun thing. Used to have a, oh, there's my cap. I found it. Used to have a piece of paper here with used to have a piece of paper here with instructions, but that was missing when I got it. But yeah, there we go. Adapter for a Unitech pen lettering set.